Bill, Division of Revenue Bill, purports to remove the 15 billion from allocation of Nairobi and, Mr. Speaker, back to national government. Again, we don't even know how much Nairobi will get until we go to county allocation of revenue bill, so that we now get to know what Nairobi gets and how it's going to be divided and what agreements are going to govern. So, Mr. Speaker, that provision ought not to be in this bill. The Nairobi will know its resources when we pass this bill, and when CARA is brought to this House, then we will know how much money based on the formula, and you know the formula is still even under debate. We may, Mr. Speaker, succeed to get the new formula to be used, or we may use the older formula. At that point in time is when we are going to have a discussion as to how the resources of Nairobi County are going to be apportioned between the entity that they transfer their functions to and, Mr. Speaker, the remaining functions for the Nairobi County.
The Constitution is very clear, and the chairman has referred to those provisions of the Constitution, that even if you transfer functions, the authority still remains with the institution which is recognized under the Constitution. These funds are allocated to the people of Nairobi and to the county of Nairobi, so the institutions of Nairobi County must be responsible in oversighting these funds and knowing how these funds are going to be spent. It must not only be just oversighted, it must be appropriated by the Nairobi County.
I don't understand how anybody can purport to allocate money to a county and take it away in Dora. That is only in Kara. And that's why, Mr. Speaker, our chair has said we recommend that this House passes this bill, and at the next stage, we must amend to remove this misguided removal of money from Nairobi County. Mr. Speaker, only 4 Nairobi functions have been moved to a department called Metropolitan. How on earth do you then take away the entire 100% allocation to Nairobi? What happens with the other 10 functions? What happened with the County Assembly of Nairobi? What happens to all the issues that go on in Nairobi, Mr. Speaker? This is called impunity. Disrespect for the law, disrespect for the Constitution.
Somebody said that on matters of strategy, swim, or, Mr. Speaker, with the current. But on matters of principle, Mr. Speaker, you must stand firm.
Where is Nairobi County going to get the money, emergency money, if the entire budget of 15 billion has been allocated to go to the consolidated fund, ipso facto, the national government? Where are they going to get the emergency fund for anything that happens in this city?
Unfortunately, within government sometimes, there are those who are more zealous than the top leadership. And you give them an inch, they want to take a mile. Mr. Speaker, it is completely unconstitutional to try and appropriate for any county. In fact, if you read the deed of transfer, and Senator Orengo has alluded to it because we spoke about it at length during that time, it says that Nairobi County shall ensure that those functions are resourced and the money appropriated shall not be less than the amount appropriated in the last appropriation subsequent to the current appropriation.